Welcome to Thoughts Off the Stem. I'm Justin Barone, and today we're smoking in the bong a little mix of Indigo Days, which is 24.5% THC. It's a hybrid, it's nice. It's a good, nice little zone out weed. And it's mixed in the bong. It's mixed with this cherry jam, which I think was 25 or 26% THC. It's really fresh. It's really good too. That's in the joint as well. So I hope you're... Oh, and we're also drinking another one. We're drinking MXG Watermelon. Again, 10 milligrams of THC. This time I know that I am going to be drinking about a half quarter of weed. So, guess what? Bottoms up, and I have prepared by not getting all stoned all day before doing the podcast. That's right. So I should be fine. So cheers to that. Cheers to the bong. Cheers to your Friday. Cheers to not getting paid to promote any of this stuff. I'm just telling you what I like. That watermelon drink's actually really good. And the Wagner Cherry Jam, I think it was a hybrid as well. But you know what's funny here? Okay, this is what I was going to talk about today. When people tell you they got really good fucking weed, and they're like, yo man, you gotta try out my weed, it's so fucking awesome. Okay? That's bullshit. Because nobody has the best weed. There's better strains, and there's some that are good for you, and some that don't, react with you so well. Okay? That's all I'm saying. So don't try telling me that you have the best weed, because you can always find better weed. And it also depends on the scenario, what's going on, how much you've been smoking lately, like your tolerance levels, how long you've been smoking. Because when I was younger, every fucking different type of weed that I smoked got me the highest I'd ever been. So every new weed, every new smoke session was the best weed I'd ever had. Okay? Until I had smoked frequently enough to the point where I was no longer impressed. Like, the weed was just good. You know what I mean? Or the weed was just great. Or it was dirt and you didn't buy it and it was a piece of shit so you left it alone. That kind of shit. But it took a long time to get to that point. And I've heard people say that, the first time I smoked weed, I didn't get high. Well, one of two things happened. Either you didn't inhale, okay, or you just had dirt weed. That's also possible. And then, I don't know, maybe you even have a chemical makeup that doesn't give you all the THC receptors that you should have as a human, or that most people have, whatever the deal is, and you just didn't get high that time. I'm sure that's possible as well. Okay? So maybe weed isn't for everybody. Just like alcohol, not for everybody. Also, green beans, not for everybody. Even though everybody should probably fucking eat them. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, I had ordered this drink, which I knew what was coming because it's delicious and I was impressed with the last one, so I'm doing it again. Okay. But then I decided I was going to try this cherry jam stuff by Wagner's. Again, not paid to promote it, just saying. I figured I'd try it out because it was high THC content. It was a cheaper price because I am not paying. There's no way. You're never going to catch me paying like $60, $50 even for a fucking half quarter. No goddamn way. Okay? That weed better fucking blow me. All right? That's what I'm saying. That if I smoke $60 weed, at some point after smoking that weed, with the help of nothing else, I just have to come. That's what has to happen for me to pay for your $60 weed. Okay? That's what it has to happen. That's all I'm saying. Okay? So I figured I'll try this stuff because it's a little bit stronger, but it's still like a decent price, around $30, right? So I figured, I'll give it a shot. Now, and I bought it from the dispensary that I always buy it from. They're very knowledgeable on their stuff. They're great staff. Nice group of people. Very friendly and accommodating. And, so I ordered it, and the dude brings it, okay? And he hands me the bag. He's like, oh yeah, this stuff's really good. He goes, it's medical grade. Like, okay. He goes, yeah, so like just take it easy. I'm like, dude, I ordered it because it was one of the highest content fucking buds you had. So like, I'm in. You don't have to sell me that it's gonna get me totally fucked up. That's the point, right? Like, I'm in. You know? So dude's like, oh yeah, well, you know, but if you're not a seasoned smoker, and like, again, standing in my garage, bong out on the table, I had just taken a hit. I have this stuff, all my like rolling tray, the weed, everything out. And I look at the guy, big pot flag, big Canadian leaf pot flag, okay? That's the dead giveaway, right? This dude is like, well, if you're a seasoned smoker, I'm like, dude, that's why I bought it. He goes, well, just be careful. It's medical grade. I'm like, okay, so this shit's going to knock me the fuck out? Like, that's what's going to happen here? It didn't. I tried it. I just tried a bong hit because he got me all fucking worried and shit. I was like, maybe it will. I don't know. Last time I underestimated something was one of these little fuckers. These little cans of watermelon, or what did I have last time? Mango. These little THC cans of pop, whatever. I underestimated that sucker, and dude, I was balls high. So I'm just saying, I figured with Buddy coming in, telling me like, hey, this is medical grade shit, even though in my head, I'm like, son, I smoke more weed than years you've been alive. Like, 35. I don't know how old he was, like 15, 16? I don't know, he had to be 18 to sell it. So he's probably like early 20s. So like, I smoked more today than you've smoked in your last however long you've been smoking. Okay? That's all I'm saying. But I don't really. But what I'm saying is, okay? What I'm saying is that like, yeah, he was all, look at my weed, it's the best weed, do check it out. And I'm like, okay, but it's not like knock me on my fucking face weed. I mean, it's good. It's very good. It's very, very good weed. Like, it is now making the list. Like, I'm making a short list by the end of this first season, which will be August 14th, will be 52. Well, that'll be a year's worth of episodes. It should be episode 53 at that point. But anyway, on that anniversary episode, I'm going to unveil my favorite strains of the year. And yeah, maybe you could try them out or do whatever. But like, I've noticed, yeah, as I get older, you could tell me that you've got like the crazy, but there's very few strains that really knock my fucking socks off now. You know? Not that I don't think that there aren't any out there. I mean, I haven't tried a lot of different strains, so who the fuck knows? And sometimes you get accustomed to smoking certain strains, right? And something new comes along, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like a higher content or anything like that. It just has to be different, right? And it can get you like even more fucked up because the balance wasn't the same. It's all of a sudden different. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. But yeah, don't fucking tell me that you got the best weed, boo. Like, I saw this one ad, okay? Not that I'm trying to be mean or anything, because I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just saying, like, I saw this one, like, interview with Seth Rogen, where he was talking to an interviewer, and they were talking about weed, and he was smoking a joint, and Rogen's like, here, have a smoke, but only take one puff. And I'm like, dude, you can't hand me a joint and be like, here, have one puff. No, I need a couple puffs. Now, I don't know the background of this reporter and what like how often he smoked. Maybe he never ever smoked. But one puff? Like one puff. Come on, man. You're doing an interview on weed. Like, you'd think you would have had some experience with weed. And you're doing an interview with Seth Rogen about weed. About his weed. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't think that he would be a one puff kind of guy, but he took a puff and he was high apparently. So I want to try some of that shit, because I know that shit is not in the fucking stores. But I would really like trying a one puffer, because I haven't really, like I've said a million times, I've been smoking since I was 18. I'm 40 now. So that's what, 22 years, okay? So I've been smoking for 22 years. And back in the day when I first started smoking, like in my first 6 or 7 years of smoking, there were a couple times where for sure I smoked one joint and it was like, pow, I was done. I couldn't get up. I couldn't do it. But that was not having been introduced to marijuana cigarettes at that point on a regular basis. Now that I smoke it on a regular basis, I wonder if I go back, if you could go back as younger smoker you, right, and smoke the same shit that you smoked then, now, like, go back in time on a weed time machine to the past, where you try old weed joints that you smoked when you were a kid and decide if they were still as good as you remember them. I feel like you'd be let down a lot. I feel like some of it, okay, for example, there was one joint I can distinctly remember smoking in university. It was like the first big, just met these people, smoke a joint with them kind of gathering, I guess, that I had since I moved out of the house, right? Which was into residence at this university. So we're outside smoking this joint. Up at this point, I'm not a professional smoker at this point by any means. Nor am I now, having to constantly light this thing. But what I'm saying is, back then I can remember smoking that joint, going up to my room, passing the fuck out. But I wasn't passed out, okay? I was out, my eyes were closed, I couldn't talk, I could hear everything going on around me. So I knew the people coming in and out of the room, people were talking to me, I just couldn't respond. I was just out, but awake at the same time. If you're a true stoner, you'll know what I'm saying. So I can remember a time like that and being like, damn. And sometimes I think now, if I could go back then and try that weed again, I wonder if I would be as, impressed, or if I would get as high from that weed. Or maybe find out that it wasn't even fucking weed. Maybe it was some other shit. But still, I'm saying, you know? You gotta know. If you're a pothead, you know what I'm saying. I do remember at first, though, getting super fucking high constantly. Nope, that's not what I meant at all. What I meant was, I can remember the first few times that I got high, and people always told me oh, you get creative and you get this and you get that and you get motivated to do shit on weed. The first few times I smoked weed, I was never motivated to do anything other than laugh my ass off, eat some food, and eventually pass the fuck out. That was it, the first few times. But then, as I became a seasoned smoker, I started to notice the transition to creativity. Because you go through transitions of smoking, right? When you become a full-fledged smoker, at the beginning, you get a taste, you maybe have a few, you smoke it at a party, you do this, you do that, but then maybe take a couple days off. Maybe not party all the time. Maybe you just party on the weekend, and during the week you got school and shit, so you you gotta do that, right? Okay. But then, as life goes on, and you move on to university and shit where you don't have to do anything. You choose whether to do it. You can, start adding some extra things into your lifestyle, like smoking a joint. And sometimes, it presents you with a totally different side of your personality that you didn't recognize. When you were younger, that you have this weird, draw to, I don't know if it's entertainment, but you have a weird draw to, shit, I totally don't know where I'm going. This weed is pretty good. I mean, the drink is pretty good too. Fuck, where was I going with that? God damn it. I totally brain farted. You know why? Because I saw the power on the battery pack for the light and it threw me off. I am not a professional in any way. The only thing that I'm a professional at is smoking this weed. And sometimes, smoking weed helps me be creative. And that's what I was saying. I don't understand. I mean, I get the makeup of people, but I don't understand how weed doesn't trigger your creativity. Sometimes, okay, that's where I was going. Holy shit, fuck, that took a bit. Anyway, when I was younger, you would smoke and it would do one thing to you. Like I said, like I would get high, I would laugh, I would drink something, I would eat something, I would pass out, right? But as you become a seasoned smoker, you start to realize that there are certain things that you can do while on weed that you may or may not be able to do while you're sober. You definitely can't recreate it when you're sober. You can have some like fucking world blasting ideas, you know? Like total, you know, I got the answer to everything idea. This is how we stop this shit or make this shit better. Whatever your thought is. My point is that weed can help you find the creative angle to it that you may not be paying attention to as a sober person. Because, let's be honest, sober people sometimes are stupid and they don't see the big picture. Because, you know, if you don't have something to relax yourself with, then your brain gets overrun with anxiety and fear. And the next thing you know, you're lashing out for no reason. You know? But when you smoke weed, there's a different sense. There's a sense of calm, a sense of wonder, a sense of like, hey, I wonder if I can do that. Can I make that happen? And then you try and see if it does. But yeah. That was so random, but that's my thought on that. How do you like that? I hope you're enjoying the sesh. I hope you have a good. You're having a good Friday. I hope you had a good week. Yeah, I hope it's going well, and I'm glad that you decided to spend the beginning of your weekend here with Thoughts Off the Stem. So thank you very much for that. I am high as balls, by the way. I hope you are also high as balls. I hope you are enjoying life. As I stare off into the eyes of this joint. Yeah, man. I find that weed helps me be considerably more creative. Because if I could just sit back and, like, think about an idea, you know, like, and progress it. Like, I've always wanted to make a fucking horror movie. Ever since I was like a kid, I've always wanted to make like a really good gory horror movie. Then I saw House of a Thousand Corpses and I was like, fuck you, Rob Zombie, you did it first. And you did it awesome. Also, not fuck you, Rob Zombie, just saying. You know? Yeah. But so like, I've always had that creative edge to the way that I think. But when I'm sober, the problem is I get sucked into stupid sober ideas. Like, oh, do things this way because that's the way it's done forever and always. But then you smoke weed and you're like, but hang on. How do we fucking know that forever and always? I know some things are tried, tested, and true and you do it. But how do you know that everything that we know, okay, is the right thing? There are different ways to do, what is it? What's the saying? There's like 9 different ways to skin a cat or whatever the fucking saying is. You know, like, there's ways to do all kinds of different shit. I don't know that any of us have truly found, like, the right way to do it. Because soberness. People spend way too much time sober and not enough time pondering life high as balls. I'm saying, that's just my fucking theory. Because I'm high as balls pondering life and wondering what the fuck. In a good way, though. Like, in an adventurous, like, there's lots of shit to do way. You know? I'm just saying. It's a good time. It's a good thought process. It's a good way to be. It's a good way to go. This weed is actually really good. Wagner's Cherry Jam. Yeah, man. I would say this is like an acceptable party weed. Where, like, if you have a bunch of people over, I bet you a lot of people would have the same reaction to this strain. It would be an upper for most. Yeah, I think so. Because, well, I mean, look at me. I blabbed on about bullshit for, I don't know, however long this has been. So yeah, if you want to talk about a strain that'll help you be creative, fuck that right here. I dug myself out of like 4 conversational holes today. Wagner's Cherry Jam. Booyah. Pick it up if you want. Somewhere, I don't know. Yeah. I don't get paid for this. I'm just saying, it is delicious. And I mean, like, this is the high. It's a good time. I mean, it's also infused with a little bit of that. So, you know, try it out. It's a good mix. Mix it up. Oh. All right. Well, those are my thoughts off the stem for this week. I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope you come back next Friday with me, Justin Barone. And again, thoughts off the stem on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Good Pods, Podchaser, Stitcher, Overcast, all of them, everywhere, anywhere you get a podcast. Yeah, thanks for joining me this week, and don't forget to check the description for my link tree. We got audio podcasts and the video podcast. So whichever one you're listening to, mix it up next time. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Anchor, on Spotify. Why I keep doing this little hand over my head movement, like it's like I'm doing a sky hook, I don't know, but I'm high and I'm enjoying this. And again, I hope you enjoy your weekend. I hope you had a good week. And I just generally hope you have a really good time and enjoy yourself. Nothing but good vibes. And until next time, keep your lids low, baby.